Hey guys, I wanted to get on here tonight and talk to you about something that went on with us today, and I am not in frame at all. Probably going to fall now. Okay, cool. And my shirt is currently soaked because I just gave Connor a bath, but hashtag mom life. Anyway, so most of y'all know Connor is on Flovent. It's an inhaler. He gets it twice a day, and what it does is it keeps his lungs healthy, I guess you would say. And I've done a video about it before, how he has scarring in one lung, so he's more susceptible, I cannot say that word, he's more likely to get pneumonia. And we've seen that time and time again. He's been hospitalized quite a few times for pneumonia. And so this medicine will not do anything if he's sick. He has albuterol for when he's sick, and we do that every 4 to 6 hours. Normally I do 4. I set an alarm when he's sick, and that will help if he's already sick. But what the Flovent does is it tries to prevent that. But once he's sick, you go to albuterol because the Flovent's not going to do anything. So anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is he needs these meds. He needs them. It's not a if he has them, if I remember to do them. It's not a he has to have them. So you can imagine my frustration a while back when they would not refill his meds, even though we had his doctor sending in for a refill. So I got really upset, and I'm like, he has to have these meds. And like, it was so bad that Jeremy made the calls. I did not make the calls, which is pretty bad. And finally he got a different pharmacy to refill them, and I don't really remember how or why that worked. I just got a call from him. He's like, hey, I got them, but you're going to have to go to Madisonville CVS. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, I'm on my way. Anyway, so part of the problem was insurance wanted us to go to a 90-day supply instead of 30-day, which I have no problem with because he's going to continually need them. So I have no problem doing a 90-day supply. But what happened was insurance didn't want to give me the initial 90-day supply. So you can't let me run out of a 30-day supply and then say, oh, you're going to 90 days, so you have another 60 days to go. You cannot do that. You have to give me the initial 90-day supply, and then I'll be on the 90-day supply. Okay, so that's when we had to go to a different pharmacy and all that, but we got the meds, and insurance paid for them. So, it's time for meds again. We just went to the pulmonologist on February 8th, and she's like, do you need refills? And I'm like, yes. And so she put in for refills, and so I went in my little handy-dandy Walgreens app and tried to get them, and we still had a few days on them. I'm horrible about going that moment and getting the meds, especially if he's not out yet. Like, I'll forget and stuff. So I forgot for a few days, and then I'm like, oh, we're getting low. Oh, yeah, those meds. And they hadn't. They refill his nose spray. He gets nose spray daily. You can watch my video about all his meds and why he gets them and all that. But anyway, because I'm going to try to keep this short. So, the nose spray was the only one they refilled. And I'm like, what's up with that, you know? And so, I tried again, and they kept saying they were refilling it, but then, like, when I get there to get it, they didn't have it. So finally, I just, this was like going on over the phone and on the line app and all that. So finally today, I just went down there, because he's almost out. I think he has 4 left. Like, it'll say a 4 on the inhaler. 4 left, and he gets 2 puffs in the morning and 2 puffs in the evening. So, like, pretty much one day is all he has left when I say 4. So I went down there. I was very nice because it is not Walgreens Pharmacy's fault. This is an insurance deal. And so she was like, yeah, I can refill those for you, no problem. I'm like, well, I keep trying to refill them, and it won't refill them. And she's like, oh, they're probably stored, which I have no idea what that means, and I'm not talking bad about her, because she was so nice. I wish I knew her name. I'd give her a big, huge shout out, but I didn't pay attention. Anyway, so she's like, do you want to wait on him? And I'm like, well, how long will it be? And she's like, it'll probably be like 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll wait on him, because it was raining. It was yucky. I didn't want to get Connor back in the car. Like, we were already out of the car. We might as well. So we went and we played in the toy aisle for 10 minutes. We were those annoying people that played with all the toys in Walgreens and then put them back and did not make a purchase. But we did put them back neatly. I did make him clean and tidy up well. So hopefully we weren't too annoying. But anyway, I go back to get my meds, and she's like, hey, you're ready. And when I get up there, she tells me that the Flovent and the albuterol, I'm like, do you have them? And she's like, well, what it is insurance is not going to give them to you, blah, blah, blah. And she talked on, and I'm like, so did insurance pay for them? And she's like, no, they won't pay for them. And I'm like, well, how much are they? One of them was $80, which I probably could have swung. The other one was like $300 something, $329 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I can't pay that. So we got our nose spray, which was like $6 and something. That's the one I could afford. And the one he's not out of, by the way. Anyway, and I told the lady, I'm like, what is going on? And so she's like, well, a lot of times what they do when they go to 90-day supplies, they want to mail it to your house every 90 days. And you'll just get it that way. They don't like to do it through a pharmacy when it's that big of a bulk. I'm like, well, I have no problem with them mailing it to our house. But the problem now is he's out of it. Like, I don't have time to wait 7 to 10 business days. Like, he's out. And she was like, well, you could probably call your insurance. And sometimes when you call your insurance, you can ask, and they'll let you pick it up again one more time in the store before they set it up on home delivery or whatever. Which I have no problem with it being delivered to my door every 90 days. As a matter of fact, it's easier, to tell you the truth. But again, there has to be an initial, oh yeah, set us up. You know, like, it's like there's so much miscommunication, and maybe it's my own fault. I have no idea. But the lady at Walgreens was super nice, and I do want to say that. And I was very nice to her, because it's not her fault. But I almost had a mini breakdown in Walgreens. And I got to my car, and I cried for a while, because he needs these meds. I know he needs these meds, and yet I can't get them. I can't get anybody to give them to him. I mean, for like $400, I can. But, I mean, I can't do that, you know. And so anyway, I've been super frustrated and super annoyed. And so what I ended up doing tonight, because like I said, we only have one full day left of the meds, is tonight I ended up doing his budesonide, which is what he used to be on before he had an inhaler. He used to do it through the nebulizer, which it's a mask and it's a machine, big tube, and it's like a liquid you put in and it does it or whatever. And we have a ton of it left because he was on it for the longest. It's the exact same thing as Flovent. It's just like a different brand or whatever. And budesonide doesn't come in an inhaler. So when they were like, hey, would you like to get an inhaler? I'm like, yeah. You know, puff, puff, instead of sitting there for the nebulizer, which normally only takes like 5 to 7 minutes. But still, that's 5 to 7 minutes I don't have in the morning when I'm getting him up, trying to get him ready and get him on the bus. Anyway, luckily we still have a ton of it because it came in 90-day supply too. So, tonight I used it, and it's okay. It's fine. It's a medicine, but it's super annoying. It's just, it's not his medicine, and it's the fact, it's like a mini panic attack for me when I know that if we didn't have that old medicine, if I didn't save, if I had just been like, oh, well, we're done with this, let's throw it out, he would have no medication for his lungs. Right here in like flu and cold season and the worst time, the worst weather ever, you know, to not be on your lung medication. And anyway, I've just been super bummed about it, super just frustrated, I guess. I feel pretty helpless. Anyway, so Jeremy's going to call tomorrow and have a little chit-chat with insurance, and we're going to try to figure this out. So, anyway, I just got on here to vent my frustrations, and to also say sometimes our setbacks and our frustrations and things we wished hadn't happened, things that would be easier if they hadn't happened, can bring blessings and can bring good out of them. And it's hard to find the good in bad things that happen. It's hard to see the good, especially in the here and now. But tonight, when I was doing his breathing treatment, since he was going to have to sit there for 5 to 7 minutes, and he hasn't had to do that in a really long time, I decided that I would get a couple books and I would read to him. Now, I know that reading is phenomenal for your kid, especially if your child's nonverbal and like learning to talk. But I'm going to be honest, I don't do it enough. I don't read to him enough. I know I don't. Life gets busy, the hustle, the bustle, you know. So tonight, when he was doing his breathing treatment, I sat down and I read to him, and it was just like, like this moment where I was like, I need to be better about reading to him more. I need to be better about sitting down and talking to him, you know, not laughing and splashing while he's getting a bath, not laughing about, you know what I mean, like just sitting down and talking to him and reading him a book. And I'm going to try really, really hard to do better about that, even when we get the inhaler, because I know we're going to get them eventually and get that all straightened out. I want to do better about sitting down and hanging out and talking to my kid. And I want to do better about reading with him and laughing with him. We read Corduroy, the Corduroy Bear. His kindergarten teacher actually got him that for Christmas, and we hadn't even read it yet. I feel horrible about that. Anyway, it was like when I was in kindergarten, I can remember my mom reading it to me, and I just really liked that book. And I've never seen the movie or anything like that, but I just really liked the book. And we sat down and we read it tonight, and Connor would laugh, like the part, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but he's trying to find the button for his overalls. And so he finds this bed, and, you know, he thinks that's his button, the button on the bed, and he's trying to pull it off. And finally, he jerks it loose, but he falls off the bed. So there's a picture of him, like, flying through there. And I said, look, Connor, he's fallen. And Connor laughed and laughed. And it's just, like, little moments like that where he was totally listening to the book. You know, like, he like, everything I said, he was looking and hanging on every word I said. And part of it is he couldn't get up because he's there for 5 to 7 minutes for his breathing treatment. And if that's the time I need to do it, that's the time I'll do it. The time he cannot get up. You know, and that's the thing. Life gets busy. We get in our hustle, our bustle. We get in our routine, and we forget the little things that are still super important, and that is super important. So I encourage you, if you don't, and I cannot be griping at you at all because I'm not very good about it, but read to your kids. It's important, even when they act like it's annoying and they don't want you to. Because normally Connor acts like it's super annoying. He'll grab the book. He'll shut the book. We're reading, buddy. And read to them. And so I'm going to try to do better about that. And y'all hold me accountable. Ask me if I'm doing it. And so anyway, I'm just super blessed. Out of that drama and me crying my eyes out today at Walgreens and being super annoyed and super frustrated, not having what I think we need to have, a blessing came. Because we got through it. We have medication he can take, and we spent some time together, and that came out of not having the medication, the normal medication, you know. And so, if you get where I'm going there, I know I'm all frazzled, but anyway, I just wanted to get on here and say that. And I wanted to say, too, that I don't want to seem like I'm griping about his insurance, because his insurance has been phenomenal, and they pay really good. This is just seem like it's been a miscommunication, and it's not all their fault. I think it's some our fault too, probably, but we're learning as we go. You know, I don't know anything about, and I'm not bragging, but like Jeremy's not on any medications, and I'm not on any medications, so I don't know anything about this 90-day supply or this continually getting refills and things like that. I'm learning, obviously, because Connor's going to be on meds, but it's all new to me, and I'm probably not dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's either, like, because I'm just learning too. And so we need to have grace. I need grace, most definitely. We all need grace. The lady at Walgreens needed grace. It was not her fault, and I could have totally went in there today and ripped her head off. I didn't, because I took a deep breath and thought about it, but I'm not saying I haven't before, being a little bit rude, I mean, because we're human, but we need to step back and remember we all need to show a little more grace, and maybe, just maybe, the thing that frustrated you, the thing that set you back, the thing that delayed you, the thing that is driving you crazy, the thing that seems like this horrible, no good, very bad thing, maybe, just maybe, some little good will come out of it. And so that's what I wanted to get on here tonight and say, short and sweet, and just vent some frustration, but also tell you that God is good, even in the things that seem not good. So thanks for watching, and seriously, hold me accountable. Ask me if I'm reading my kid books. Really, do it. Bye, guys.